Are you ready to discover who you came here to be? Welcome to the Human Design and Astro Club podcast. Human Design is a system and a tool that is here to empower you and show you your greatest potential. Come learn with us and discover who you really are. Hi friends, Krystle here. Now, before we dive into this episode that I know will be providing you a lot of value and support, we wanted to share with you how we can support you off the podcast because we have a few new opportunities cooking in my kitchen and also that Leah has selected in her market. So the first offer is what we've had for a little while, which is a free guide on tips and tricks to honoring your strategy and authority. Now, if you've had a hard time understanding what your strategy is, if you've had a hard time understanding how to honor your authority and use it in your everyday life, you're going to want to head to the show notes down below and pick up this free guide. Now, our next offer is our language manual, and this is called Your User Manual to Your True Self because it reveals with you how to understand the language in human design, how to understand the key terms and the dense information in human design. We have a lot of images that give descriptions and allow you to follow your chart and learn how to use this language in your everyday life. And you can pick that up in the show notes down below. Now, our next offer is our mini classes on the 4 transformations, which are the variables in human design that help lead you on the path to purpose and help you better understand your process and how to get to where you are going in life. Now, we have bundles with this and also a la carte classes on determination, cognition, and environment, and you can pick those up in the show notes down below. And we will be starting a variable intensive. We are super excited about this, so excited, which will be a 5-week program on every single variable. And we are going to be doing a hands-on approach with this, where we'll be guiding you through the classes in depth, week by week, and you will get access to every single guidebook and workbook for life. Yes, you heard that right. Please look out for our wait list soon, as this will be starting in October and there will be limited spots to this intensive. Now, we also have another class, brand new. This is brand new. You've heard it here first, that there will be a 3-part series on 2027. Yep, I know everyone's interested in this class. 3 live Zoom classes recorded, and it's going to be on the 2027 mutation that we are all entering into. And the first class will be on August 22nd for a limited time only for the live classes. Please feel free to head to the show notes for more detail and to register for the class. Now, we also have our 2022 energy forecast. Now, we started at the beginning of the year. We went through all the major players that are happening in 22, and we talk about them through the lens of human design, astrology, and tarot, and you can pick that up in the show notes down below. Now, speaking of energy forecasts, we have a really big opportunity for you guys, especially you listeners that have been listening to us week after week with the program and the transit updates that we've been going through. So we've created a monthly bonus exclusive. Okay, this is called the program exclusive, which is going to be bonus material on the transits and more. And you'll also be getting a worksheet with this each month, where we're going to talk about the gates and channels in detail for each month, as well as a few other things that we'll let you guys know about soon. So definitely pay attention. It'll be coming out in September. Make sure you are subscribed to our email so you can join that immediately. Now, we also have Nurture Your Child Through Their Design. This is a class that we did, a free class that we recorded that we have decided that we're going to make a whole guidebook for. And you'll be able to pick up the recording as well as the guidebook. And we're going to be going through all the types through the lens of a child. And then we're also going to be giving you nervous system regulation through the variables. We've come up with a few ways that we've been working with our children with this, and we wanted to share it with you. So please pay attention to this coming out late August. Now, if you've been wanting to work with Leah and I one-on-one, if you enjoy how we explain human design, astrology, and tarot, I do the human design portion and Leah does the tarot portion, and we both do one-on-one readings. So if you would like to get a reading, you can head to our website in the show notes down below and book a reading with us. Now, I'm going to stop talking about all this stuff, and I'm just going to let you guys get into it. Feel free to reach out to us. We love hearing from you, and go ahead and listen to this next brand new episode. See you over there, friends. Welcome to the Human Design and Astro Club podcast. I'm Krystle.
And I'm Leah.
And this is the podcast you've been waiting for. We finally got music on there. And
before we even started this, I'm like, we should dance while that music is playing.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we
that
both
was my
just
plan.
did it anyway.
I'm always, if you only knew, hold on a second. If you only knew how much I dance during just in a whole day, like I probably don't need to be working out because I'm a generator. I have the 515 channel. Dave asks me all the time, why does it take you so long to do things? And it's because I'm dancing, David. Okay? I'm fucking dancing.
Why isn't dinner ready? Well, I've been dancing the whole time.
I've literally shown on my stories me dancing while making dinner. So it's literally like I'm not just doing it for attention at all. This is literally what I do. And more so, honestly, I've gotten back to the roots of that with myself from when I was a kid, because there was a large point in my life where I wasn't really dancing freely. I used to, when I was a little kid, I used to do like these like whole Broadway performance and recitals for myself in my room alone. And I feel like I've brought it back since I started deconditioning. It's something that I started doing more and more. And I'll just, there might be just like a phase in my life where I'm just permanently dancing. Like we're on here and I'm dancing to no music that's happening, but it's happening in my head, which right now it feels that way with all the pressure gates up there.
Yeah. That have a lot going on.
I think tomorrow they finally get out. We are in the past right now, just so everyone's aware. We're always in the past.
Just a few days ahead.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever get to a point of like live podcasts that can be streamed on multiple apps, you know?
Like in general?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Put it out there to the podcast world.
I feel like I mean, it obviously very similar, a Clubhouse vibe, obviously.
Yeah.
Because that's basically like live podcast. But what if you had a podcast that was just live that then could be streamed on multiple platforms? Be saving people a lot of work.
Right.
And somehow you could interact. I don't know if that's possible, but
maybe those would be like I don't know, like it seems kind of like a Facebook live or like a Instagram live or like a YouTube
just
live
audio, but like how our podcast gets streamed to a bunch of different platforms, right? It'd be like that.
That'd be interesting.
I always have ideas. I don't know. Not always for me. There's no possible way with my tech knowledge skills.
I'm laughing because we had this conversation today.
What?
It's just because we had this conversation today about technology and Mercury and.
Well, I mean, just in like we both know where my skills lie, and they don't lie in technology.
I think Dave would also agree
Well,
that technology
I
is
was
some.
literally about to just say that Dave tells me I shouldn't be allowed to use it. And then he, in the same breath, he also tells me I need to figure it out. I'm like, how? I mean, it's not, it makes no sense that my business is online, right? But I mean, I feel like there's workarounds with that. That's why we work well together because you're the other part that I
I
don't
think,
have.
yeah, I think I walk a fine line sometimes with that, where I'm like, Krystle, maybe I should teach Krystle how to do this so that in case I'm not around, she could actually like know how to do these things. And I'm like,
You'll
I
be
don't
here
know if
all
that's,
day.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
You're gonna be very
Like,
frustrated with me. And
it's
I
some
just
of it is hard to explain too. Like because I get into a routine with it. So like I know the things just because that's what I've been doing, and you know your things because that's what you've been doing. So
but
yeah.
also, but it's not even what we've been, let's be clear here. No, it's not about what we've been doing. It's about what we're good at. I am not good at that. And I will not get good at it. It's just not possible. I know that I'm not limiting myself. This is, you got to know your strengths. Okay. Just like you ask me all the time, how do you know all those things? Like, how do you know so much about human design and what, like, it's just,
You
I
have
don't
like a
know.
photographic memory, I think. It
It
just
is,
like, stays trapped in there.
but that it's mutating at the same time.
And it's useful. It's not like it's
Yeah, it is very useful. It's like I said on our last episode, like I could tell you the meaning of life and human existence and
hmm
why we are all here, but do not ask me to do math or technology.
Yeah.
Show me the basics of things that I'm going to need to know, and then
And then
do
the
not
rest.
try to show me any more after that because I won't. Like when you text me things, like, and to you, I know you think they're simple, and I'm over here, like I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, what language is this?
Oh, that's funny.
So I'm not trying to be difficult. I can't, it does not, it won't penetrate. I can't get it in there. And like I try to explain this to Dave, and he's like, no, because his brain is a computer. I
Yeah.
mean,
No, he really is.
he's a genius when it comes to anything related to technology. And it's because it's natural to him, and he's a fucking second line, you stupid bitches. I'm sorry.
God, you're spicy today. That's funny.
I
Garrett's kind of the same way though. And somehow, like anytime I have a problem or I'm like in hope because I'm like waiting for someone else to fix my technology problems, I'll ask him and he'll come in and he'll be like, there was no problem. There's what, see? What? What do you think? What's the problem? And I'm like, can you show me what you did? Like, can we go through the steps of what you just did? Because you hit a bunch of buttons. And he's
yeah.
like, I don't know if I can explain that to you again. It's not helpful. Then I figure it out after.
Yeah. See, you just guilt it out. I don't. I
Oh,
can't. I'm not trying to limit. I am not trying to limit myself because I have tried to do these things before. You should have seen me at the beginning of my online business career. It was sad. And then I just had to hire my husband for free um, to do it for me because it takes him 5 seconds. I'm there for hours.
yeah.
It's how am I utilizing my energy in those situations? And then I'm the creative, right? When I'm trying to do all of this technological stuff, it literally depletes my entire energy in every possible way, and I have nothing left to put into the creative part. And I know
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Like we can't do it all. We're not good
No.
at everything.
No.
That's why I say know your strengths, know your human design, front, back, left, right, up, down, and center, and then fucking honor it. I'm like, there's got to be somewhere in my design that tells you that I'm bad at math and technology.
I don't even know my left from my right half the time. And it's weird though, because I have a defined G center. I should know direction. I can't. If someone tells me to go left, I'll go the other way, or I'll
Yeah.
tell them the complete opposite.
Well, I
It's
only
crazy.
have one direction gate and it's gate 13, which I don't think is it's fucking list. It's like I have to like literally like be like this. Like looking around, like listening, looking, listening, take it in and like bring it and like if I don't get like find a especially because I'm right environment, if I don't see a like signpost, be like, oh, there's a sign there. It looks like this. I have to tell myself, like literally say it. Okay, there's a sign that says jerk face. And I have to remember that sign. It's in blue. There's a bunch of trees around it and memorize it. Okay. And then so that way I know that that's where I'm going to have to turn the next time. But if I don't know, I'll go the wrong way for sure.
There's too much because there's when you're driving, there's like so much to take in. I feel like it's like
Well, I think right environment
right
people.
environment. That's what I was gonna say. It's gotta be a difference between the two. Like we're able to do all the things. Sometimes too many things, I guess.
But I mean, we're taking in so much from our the atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
right? That it's like sometimes you don't even know what you just took in. Like
Yeah.
that's my only right variable. And I definitely can see how that's like so receptive and like just like there's just too much. Like I don't know what it feels like to not be that way, but I do watch. I like to observe the left environment people and they seem different.
Oh, those
So
lefties.
it's been a rough week. I kind of said that yesterday when I mean, I don't I just don't know like like to do with myself because it just seems like everything's just kind of like going haywire.
Yeah, it's like little sparks are flying off every direction.
Yeah. And I just don't I'm like I almost feel like I'm in an emotional wave right now, but I know like for us just so everybody knows, we're at the beginning stages of the full moon right now. Like the it just started and it's going to reach its peak on Saturday. We record every Thursday, just so you're aware. I know you don't care, but I'm telling you.
And
So
Mercury retrograde, along with all those
yeah,
other.
so it's interesting because I think it's like an 8 hour difference. I don't quote me on this of Mercury going retrograde and then the full moon hitting. So
Mm, double whammy.
it's gonna be an intense this one's gonna be an intense one. And I usually feel them like a few days, sometimes a week before, and I think that's why I've been kind of like down in the dumps and like everything's just been falling apart for me. And I, as much as my mind wants to tell me that everything sucks, you're about to like just like disasters occurring in every possible way. I know that it's actually a good thing because I realize when these things are happening for me that I'm going through a mutation and mutations are very painful. Um, I've been going through, they've been very accelerated for me this year, and I think it has to do with my nodal return.
Yeah.
Um, so and like, I mean, Scorpio's a fucking bitch. No offense, I love you, Scorpios. I mean, you guys show me the fucking darkness.
Hmm.
And we are in South Node Scorpio, and that's our placements. Leah and I both have the same nodal placements. That's why we found each other. And there's a lot of shedding this year. I mean, even for you, I mean, for you, no one knows what the fuck's going on with you because you will not tell
I
anybody.
never tell anyone anything.
Whenever you do tell me, I'm like, whoa, this is serious because she's telling me now. You do like to externalize a lot of like little things that I find to be like okay. But like the deep stuff, you're like, I'm not telling you. Or
Yeah.
like you'll let it you'll marinate on it for so long that then you finally have to get it out. That's what happens with you.
It's usually when I'm about to have a mental breakdown
Yeah.
and I cry it out and somebody has to listen to me cry about it and it's fine. This doesn't
Yeah.
happen all the time.
No, you
Yeah.
people, you try to work through it without getting to that point. But I'm
I
just
don't
like,
know why either. It's
I
so
don't know why you do that either. Just fucking go. If you knew how often I cry, crying and dancing. Like that.
I think like I'll read a book that's sad or I'll watch a movie or
Yeah.
TV that's sad or I'll listen to songs that are sad and then I'll just keep being sad, but then I don't know I do know why and then suddenly it just like comes to a boil. It's
Well,
sort of
you
like
don't, we
this
don't know emotions. What are you
a
kidding?
really big pot of water just kind of simmering for a while and then someone turns the heat up and then it's like
Yeah.
starting to boil and then I'm
Yeah.
like shit.
It's kind of what's going to happen this week
It's super.
because we got some emotional activations
Mhm.
in the later weeks program. So that's going to be fun because one of them is going to make me an emotional. I mean, you've been operating as an emotional for like 2 years now with freaking
Yeah, I feel numb
49
to it.
coming in and out left and right. And now it's just like stuck there
Yep.
with Saturn. But things are going to start moving next month, which speaking of next month, October,
Yeah.
huge month, not only for the transits, but also for us because we're putting out here we go. I'm like, let me try to say this 3 times fast. Premium program plus episodes like this, but way more deeper, way more detailed, where we're actually getting into the gates and channels and what they actually mean. Because this is just super surface and basic on here because not everybody understands human design and at the level that I want to take it to. So if you're ready to come to that level, you're ready to do a deep dive, if you're ready to actually capture and ride these frequencies in a way that to like actually thrive in this material world, actually be able to live to the fullest capacity, seeing what you're connecting to and being able to ride that out. It's something that I've been doing for like the last 2 years. And now I feel like I'm finally ready to share it with you guys. I'm in the middle of oh my
Every
goodness, you just
time.
totally interrupted, but it's like the
Every
theme of
time.
this week.
Hi, Otis.
He also has the 515 channel, by the way. Okay.
Yeah. Well, came off of this rhythm for a little while and now he's back. There goes the manifester.
And get a kiss. You're gonna stare at Leah. Oh, that was open. Ooh, that was a wet one. Okay.
Hmm.
I wasn't ready.
Sharing
All
is
right.
caring.
You say good night to Leah.
Bye.
You say bye-bye. Okay.
Good
I love
night.
you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Can you close the door? Thank you. Good night. If that's literally the way I work. Like I'm zoned in,
Zoned
left
in.
brain, left mind, and all of a sudden, bloop,
Mhm.
this is why I don't do a lot of work during the day.
Why nothing ever
Um,
gets done in the
oh
orderly
no, it's
fashion.
just I end
Children.
up working way longer, and it's like, what was the fucking point of that?
Yeah. No, I totally get it.
So, anyways, where was I before I for
Oh,
3 times
you
this
were
third time rudely interrupted. Um, I totally
so
lost.
I think you said there was something that you wanted to share this stuff with people because, but I don't know where you're going with it.
I don't know what I said, but listen, let's cut the bullshit, okay? I I spot mutation. You've probably been here for a while, listening to us week after week. I'm giving you the goods. I am the resource. I I I can see where we can go. I can see where you can fucking go because you might have these gates and channels that are coming in this next month. And I'm going to show you how to actually be successful with them. That is what power view and desire motivation are here to do that nobody talks about. I can see how we can be successful in this material world. You probably have been using a lot of things I've been saying for the last year on here. I got more, deeper, stronger, more powerful. I'm not, and this is fucking $11.99. It's so cheap. You get probably over an hour audio where we're talking about the major players of that month and how to utilize them to your advantage. And then, and also going over full moon and new moon rituals. Um, and then we have a forecast calendar coming out where you're going to get the breakdown of everything. You can put it up on your, you can print it out, put it up on your fridge, put it up on your bulletin board, and you can see all of the ins and outs of the sun, the earth, what other planets are going to be moving in and out of other gates as well. And then also astrological placements. And then you're going to be getting new moon and full moon rituals. I want to show you guys how to create altars for the new moons so that you can actually plant the seed with that altar so then it can be expressed into the full moon, and then being able to what are the other things we got? We got reflection questions. We got a lot. Listen, just go click down below in our description, get on the wait list. We're giving a 10% off coupon. And if you're not ready for the $11.99, I don't know what to tell you. That's okay. But anyways, if you want to, your first line, you got open head, you need a little more information, I got you. Get on our email list then, because we're going to be giving for the first month of October the forecast calendar for free. So you're going to get all of the major players for free. You're going to get the reflection questions. You're going to get Leah's tarot card pull. We're connecting to them to gates now. Yeah, we told you guys we were doing that about a year ago. We're finally actually
Happening.
going to put it out. Leah's excited about this because she's been waiting, and I'm like, okay, I'm inviting you into this. This is the place it should be. And you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Okay. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM us, write us an email. We'll be happy to answer. We love chatting with you. And thank you for everyone that has been getting on the wait list so far. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone that's been purchasing our classes. It's been really beautiful. And you help keep the doors open for us to continue to show up here week after week.
Oh, I
So
wanted to say too, I don't know how many people are over on Spotify or if you listen on Apple. 2 episodes ago, I think we put a question box on Spotify to ask you guys if you have any questions about human design.
we know you
So
do.
even if you don't listen to us on Spotify, if you just want to hop over there, you can look up Human Design Astro Club. And if you just hit like answer or reply, I think it is, you can just type a question in and we'll get, we can collect all the questions and answer them on a Q&A.
Yeah, or if you don't want to go there and you want to just tell us. We've had people DMing us their questions. That's also fine. If you want to DM us at Human Design Astro Club on Instagram, or you can write us an email. Some people like to write us emails too. So you can write us an email. And yeah, we want to do a little Q&A for you guys. We're also reformatting a lot of our classes and our guides. And so we want to see what you guys are looking for to see if we already are talking about it or if we're not. And also just to give back because we really enjoy giving back to you guys. It's a big part of what we do. We know that this information isn't the easiest to get. So we want to provide that for you. And again, I'm a fucking resource. I've been in my experiment for over 5 years. I worked at the Kabbalah Center for 3.5 years. I understand the depth of the system. Clearly, you guys have been seeing me do it week after week. And again, this is just surface stuff. You have no idea what I have. If you've taken our classes, you might have gotten or have gotten a reading from me. You've been able to see it. But you have no idea what I can provide for you. I mean, Leah, Her life has changed
Mm-hmm.
from all the information I've provided for her.
I
She
think
lives
it's a whole new world from 2 years ago.
oh yeah, oh you're like another
Like a
person to
whole new
me.
world, a whole new person.
It's
It's crazy.
I'm in shock daily. Also, Leah's a fucking genius. I told you. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys this last week? And again, this is why I'm right. Okay. To
Hmm.
find heart, to find G. I'm not going to stop. Listen, I'm an ego being. When I'm right, I'm fucking right. And I'm going to tell you that I'm right. And I don't care. You can think I'm egotistical. That's fine. I don't care. But listen, I was right. Just like I am with the transits. I said, if there's ever a week that Leah is going to figure out how to put music on our actual podcast, it's going to be this week that we're currently in. Again, we're in the past, and she did it.
I did it.
She fucking did it. I see her better than she will ever see herself. It's just the truth.
I didn't give up today though. Like usually I would be like, that's it. This
No,
is all
because
there is.
your
This is the
61 was
end.
working.
It was working, yeah. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. There is actually, I was thinking about it almost all morning. It's like there has to be some other way that I'm missing something. I'm like, I don't need a new app. I don't need a new thing. And I don't have to. And so I was playing around with it. And one thing didn't work. And then I was like, okay, cut that back out. Okay, let's see if I can do it this other spot. And then I was like, wait a minute. So then I figured that part out. And then I was like, wait, now I can get this part and get that on the podcast. And then it all just got together. And I was like, we
Yep.
were texting and I was like, I did it. And you're like, you did it. It
I
was
knew
very
it.
exciting. I
I
was
knew it.
laughing hysterically in my office by myself.
Here's the thing with definition, and this is what I've noticed with transits, and I've talked to a lot of people in our support group about this, and they've noticed it too. Um, is that when your gate or channel in your design, in your your natal placements, when it comes into transit, that is an opportunity for you to be in flow. If you're in flow with your design, you'll just feel at home in yourself. Like a
Mm-hmm.
naturalness will occur, a light will turn on. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like almost like when your gates and channels are in transit. It's almost like the 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 cosmos are like shining a light for you. Like there's like a spotlight on that particular gator channel, or like someone flipped the switch and turned it on for you, where it becomes a focus for you for that period of time. But if you do not have the awareness around this, you will not recognize it. And the reason why you will not recognize it is because it's already running through you consistently. It just happens to come more into focus during a transit, but you won't feel super different. Like if I didn't tell you, hey Leah, I think that this week it's going to come for you, especially because I know you have the 6124. I'm like, something you're going to pressure yourself. You're going to decide this is the week I'm going to pressure myself to figure this out. If I don't understand the cosmos, I don't know. I
You were
gotta give myself
you were
credit
very
here.
right. Yeah, you
I was
totally
right.
get credit.
And I don't give myself enough credit sometimes. Other people don't give me credit sometimes. I had to let go of some situations, relationships, experiences, people this week because I didn't feel valued anymore because and I'm not here and no one's here to try to prove yourself to anybody.
Mm-mm.
I don't have to
No.
prove myself to you. If you don't believe me, then get the fuck out.
Yeah. I feel like it's all really repelling because I lived that way for a long time.
Oh yeah, I feel like
So,
to find hearts. No, I listen. I'm worthy. I've got it. I've got the value.
mhm.
Let me just let me just give to you a little bit more.
Yeah,
Maybe if I give you a little bit more, this will be it. This will be the time you realize how fucking worthy I am. Never fucking
it
happens.
never works.
Never happens. And speaking of breakthroughs and like the pressure and like figuring things out, I figured out a trauma loop that I've been on probably since I was a kid. I like to go back into that again now that I had this realization and try to do a meditation to see exactly where the first time it started. But I know the last few times that it occurred and super same. And the also creepy part is that it's a similar design that I keep experiencing.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lesson or there's something that's definitely the loop.
So I think I'm hope, and I don't think, I hope. I don't know if this is me going into innocence, but I think now that I don't think anything. It seems.
Words.
Now that I have, well, I want to put the correct words for myself because I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
anything. It seems now that I have this awareness around this, that I'm sorry, my eye's going a little crazy here. With my contacts, they've been really, my left eye in particular has been really dry today. And it's deciding now's the moment that it's going to act up. But it seems that with these particular designs that I keep experiencing this with, um, it's like these experiences are forcing me to love myself on a much deeper level and realize that I do not need to prove myself to you. And if you don't see me in desire, fuck off. Like I have zero tolerance at this point in my life, especially now that I know myself on such a deep level, that if someone doesn't see me in desire, get the fuck out of my life. I am not innocence motivation. I am here to be a leader. I know where we can go as a collective. I know where people can go as an individual. I'm so sorry. My eyes is like literally like is it, my eyeballs about to fall out. And I'm like, do I just rip this contact out? I put in a new one thinking maybe it was the contact, but no, it's my
That
eye.
hurts. Take it out.
I don't have anywhere to put it. And I don't want to waste this contact because I don't have that many left. So sure what I should do. It's also the lights not making it easier for me, but we're just gonna look away for a second.
No.
It's fine. I'm not actually crying, only inside.
uh, inside always, but sometimes on the outside too.
A lot of times on the outside. So I'm really proud of myself that with this particular instance that I saw the exact third line fires that I could potentially continue to run into to be nice. Because I was always one I the third line always knows when a tear starts to happen. And then another, and then another, and then another until everything just fucking unravels. And I don't want to get to the unraveling phase
Mm-mm.
because that usually I mean you've seen it happen. That usually ends very, very poorly. And it destroys me at levels that it takes a while for it to come back. And there's no reason for that anymore. I have
Yeah.
too much awareness now, especially with these particular situations where I'm like, come on, girl. Third line. Can we learn? Can we learn now? Can we do
Yeah.
this? Is it possible? So that's where I'm at. If anybody cares, I don't know. I'm like, I'm in such a Daria mood right now. I don't know. And like, yeah. Yeah. And they're just like the reflections of all the planets in retrograde. So, anyways, I guess let's jump into it.
Sure.
All right, let's dive in. Here we go. We are officially now in a Mercury retrograde territory. With adding just another planet that is appearing to go backwards. Um, that we're here to review. So, with all these planets going backwards, we have what do we have now? One, two, three, four, five, six planets in retrograde. Okay. So this is a review on how abundant we think we are, old lessons that might feel like they're coming back to haunt us, or you might be asking yourself, why am I seeing this again? I've already been shown this before. There's always layers. There's always more layers of healing that you can do, and these retrograde periods are opportunities to do that. We're also getting a review on our creativity, and also our illusions might be revealing some truth right now. So reflect on where you've been, to move forward on where you need to go. So we kick off this week where we started end of last week, which is exploring our truths through the mind, through the ajna. This can feel like a pressure to figure things out. A lot of last week's pressures through the head gates might be moving through the mind during this time to realization. So if you have an open or undefined ajna, try not to have mental stresses and pressures. It might happen, but just have the awareness of it. Okay. Maybe you can't, there's no way to control it. Awareness. Once you get the awareness, you simmer down a little bit. So watch those mental stresses and pressures that get you down, and you are being also grounded in. We're being grounded in where we full moon hangover. Okay, basically, because it's still seeping through us during this time. So yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But this is not really. But this is what illuminated during full moon Pisces. What's grounding us right now, which is grace through our emotions and being open to emotional spirit. This might be a huge place with this program to experience a lot of emotional and spiritual growth. Okay. Um, and I do want to mention this here because once it moves forward, and maybe this is something we'll have a deeper discussion with in our monthly forecast for next month, but I really want to go deep with those that are ready. So if you're seriously ready, like I just said earlier, seriously ready, I mean, ready to learn how to have the transits and these frequencies support you, get on our premium program waitlist below, because I really do want to show you guys that life can be easy or easier. Nothing's easy, let's be real, but easier. And the transits are really here to carry us to the next level of our lives. So what's happening right now, Pluto's retrograding back into gate 61. Fun. Okay. So much fun for my open head. So if you have been experiencing a lot of head pressure, okay, really with both this gate in Pluto, it's really representing our truth. That's what Pluto does. It represents our truth. So just ask the universe, what truth, or whoever you want to talk to, okay? Whoever. Um, what truth do you want to be revealed right now? Because there's this underlying piece, this little fucking dust bunny, okay? This fucking skeleton in the closet, and it's about to come out. Okay, that's what people are like. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. We're waiting for there's things coming in October and November. Okay. I see a lot of people on Instagram talking about they feel like I feel like I'm waiting for something. Yes, I can tell you. So there's something coming out collectively and also personally. Okay. So we'll talk more about that next month when it goes direct, because Pluto's going to direct next month. I'm excited about it. And we do have on Monday that will be happening for over a week. Super exciting. Get ready, Leah, because I know you have this hanging gate. Another emotional surge. Um activating our experiences and learning patience through any hard times you might be going through or will experience through the cycle. And the voice to share what those emotional anticipations might be, um, to to really experience your life more. Okay, that's what this channel is really doing. Have someone that you feel comfortable enough with to share how you feel during this time. Okay, so I know Leah's going to be calling me. And end of Tuesday or beginning of Wednesday, you might experience a mental pressure for a brief moment through the moon. If you wake up at 3 a.m., this is why. And if you experience a breakthrough on Wednesday as well, this also might be why, or the next day, because a lot of times it's after that transit leaves, you integrate it. Okay, that's what happens with cycles. So give yourself some breaks. Great week to be journaling. This is a great week to be journaling and potentially putting some puzzle pieces together. And then we get a new program coming in hot on Thursday, which is a focus on conflict. There's emotional plate, the higher placements happening at the end of the week. So I guess throughout the entire week. Who am I kidding? So there's a focus on conflict and a potential friction in your relationships. This is an opportunity for any last minute cleanup with relationships as we move into a new season. And we are being grounded in another area of emotions that we've been going through with Neptune, but will now also be in the earth. So it's this grounding of the illusion of these experiences that are now being materialized in the real world. Look out and see everything you've been going through. Take note of them. And it's going to be a time for this week to really release those last bits so that you can step into this new place, step into this new season of you. Okay? And that's about it for the week. It's not like too much, but it's also a lot at the same time.
Yeah, definitely a lot going. I feel like
Well, for
there's
the
going to be a lot.
non-emotionals, definitely get your helmet. I'm just,
Get
anytime an emotional surge comes for you, you got to get your floaties on. I was just telling my emotional friend earlier today, I was like, I need my floaties to go into the deep end. I can't, I don't know how to swim in the deep end.
I
Okay.
don't know how to swim.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I was looking for another note and I can't remember where I put it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So as you were, I'll just go straight into the tarot if you're good with that.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. So I pulled the Empress, which is a really beautiful card. The Empress is about fertility and abundance and um, kind of like manifesting goals and like coming back to nature. For people on YouTube, you can see nature in the background, the river and the forest, and then on the bottom is wheat for it's basically like your crop. So whatever you've been, all the seeds you've been planting, it's what you're going to, reap what you sow, right? And the Empress is some cards. This one doesn't in particular, but it is about fertility. There's usually like a pregnant person on the front, and there's a lot of richness and abundance, and she's very adorned in a lot of different gold jewelry. And what I think is really cool is because we've been talking about the planets, there's 12 stars on her crown. She's crowned by 12 stars, marking both her connection to the mystical realm, to the zodiac, and to the seasons, a star for each planet and month of the year. She wields a scepter in one hand and a shield in the other.
So it's all of it.
So it's all of it. It's a
Okay.
combination of all the things. Okay,
Okay.
so maybe that's where I was getting confused. I knew it had to do with planets and months and zodiac things. So that's what the stars are all a combination of all the things. So she's basically like an earth being, but she's also, connected to the celestial world and everything. And her abundance, it's so you can kind of think about this as a time for you to look at what all the seeds you've planted and how you're going to use those and get back into nature, get back outside. I think a lot for the head gates and for the people who are, I don't know, it could be for anybody, defined or undefined. I feel like getting outside is such a great thing because we can get grounded and we can also allow our heads to clear and empty out because that's such a good place to be. And let's see, sorry. The next one is the Work Your Light deck. I got Leap. The universe will catch you.
Are you sure, universe? Are you
Are you
sure?
sure? You're kind of messy right now.
Yeah, you're telling me to jump in the biggest mess right now?
Oh dear. Maybe the Empress will catch us in her giant cloak. All right. This might be funny. Well, maybe we'll take this as a joke with Mercury. I'm just kidding. Okay, life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but you must leap to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you are being called to leap toward or away from, but are scared to make the move. Perhaps you are waiting on a big fat sign or an instruction manual, human design, or permission to do so first. If this is it, then this card is your sign and permission to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It is scary to let go of all that we know and hope for something new. It's also normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what you not thought you knew for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip. Perfect timing, already happening. And leaf by leaf, moment by moment, um, allow what once was to fall away. And this brings room for things to grow again in the spring. The branches are left bare without comfort of what once was, but in the morning of spring, new shoots begin to appear and something is born that is even more glorious than before. I mean, that got way more accurate as it went
I
by.
mean, no, both those cards are very, very accurate and literally depict everything that's happening right now
Yeah.
in the cosmos. I mean, the Empress, I feel like really represents Virgo
Mm.
with fertility, with
Mm-hmm.
nature, right? That whole card to me felt very Virgo. And then this being about fall and literally everything that I just said, like at the end there,
Yeah.
like basically like just release and let everything fall away right now. I'm going through a really deep mutation right now, and I'm just like, this feels terrifying. They always do. I'm just getting better at allowing them to happen at this point because if I don't, it's just going to be more painful.
Right.
You try to hold on to something that is no longer energetically a match for you, dude, doodles
It's worse in the long run for everybody. It's
for
that you're not allowing
everybody.
yourself to set a boundary. You're just
And
allowing the cord to still be
it's
there.
actually more than a boundary. It's you are growing.
Mm-hmm.
When you grow, you out you like the trees, they outgrow their leaves, right? And so they have to shed them so that they can go find a new layer of clothes. And fall and winter time is really an internal time. So as this season brings the fall, allow yourself to maybe, I don't know, drown a little bit in the deep end. And hang out there for a while. You might in winters, it's a time of also like there's a reflection period. So
Yeah.
it's like summer, like towards the end of the summer is usually when we have all these retrogrades. It's completely normal. That leads to fall, and you're like kind of like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm just trying to get my shit together. Like my kids went back to school. But it's like, okay, let's utilize these seasons. I have the 515 channel. I am deeply connected to the cycles of this world. And so allow them to support you. They're here to support you. I know that we've never been taught this, which is like we're here learning calculus in school for what?
Right.
What do I need that for? Geometry, I actually get now. I used to wonder, what the fuck am I learning geometry for? And now I'm like, dude, the cosmos.
Yeah.
That's what you're learning. I'm like, if I fucking knew that back then. But anyways, I'm not gonna
Mm.
I'm not gonna go on a whole bunch of tangents here. Listen, fall away right now. I can tell you from personal experience that it's when everything is taken from you that it's an opportunity to step into a completely new version of you. So let it happen. I'm gonna let it happen. I've been feeling pretty down. Even before we got on here, I was like, should I maybe Leah, maybe tell Leah, do this today. But you know, the show must go on.
Well, and
But
like I feel like we say this a lot, like we're not cured beings. There's no like
fuck no.
100%
There's no
risen
cure.
person.
There's no
We're
cure to
we're
being human.
we are actively going through the transits and life
With
and
you.
conditioning with you. That's why we're here
The
to
only
do this
thing that I
process.
no, I'm sorry, keep going. And
Oh, no, go ahead.
the only thing that I will say is this: understanding the way the Matrix is trying to control us, and
Mm.
also the way that we can actually almost, like I always say, hack the Matrix, like where we can really be on top. Like this is where my power view is like, dude, I fucking see this shit. I can I can see all the places I can be on top. We put out offers based on the transits, and they've been working. It's once you see the game, because this is a fucking game, okay? This is the game. We need to stop playing games with each other and start playing games with the universe, because the universe is a fucking game. We are in a game. And I know how we can get to the top, because the illusion is that we think that we're not there, but the truth is we're all on top, because we are all deeply connected to one source, and we're just going through this human experience so we can bring it back to the source energy once we leave. So on that note, have a lovely week. Oh, mic drop. Where's my tiny mic?
Right, get that tiny mic out.
Hold on, I have it. And that's it.
Yeah,
I had to catch it because I would have probably just like dropped it on the floor
I
and
know.
broke it. Um, so yeah, just
We're
get it.
here. We're
Okay,
here.
just do it.
Do
Just
the
leave
thing.
it. It doesn't matter. Okay, everything's temporary.
Hmm.
So have a great week. You need us, you know where to find us. If you don't, look in the description down below. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. Write us a review. It helps us reach more people, and that's what we want to do. Is we want to help more people live a better life, love themselves. So start loving yourself, and we'll see you over there on the next one.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Krystle and I are really here as defined hearts to provide value to you with our unique insights. If you have found any of this episode valuable to you, we ask that you share with a friend, tag us with a highlight on Instagram, and write us a review so we can reach more people. Human design and astrology are tools to guide us toward our transformation. You are a unique and beautiful being, and we encourage you to let that light inside of you shine bright. See you in the next episode, friends.